Hello, hello, hello everyone. We are back on the EBM Scholars Show, and today we still have our guest, my father-in-law, Mr. Robert. Welcome to the EBM Scholars Show.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so today we are going to ask you so many questions. And we want people to know about you and myself. My channel is talking mostly about immigration and life here in America. So you are among the people who have opportunity to know me well because you are my father-in-law. So I go there to the first question. What was your understanding of Africa before I became your son-in-law? Like, you have never been to Africa before.
No.
What was your understanding about Africa?
Well, I had studied in school about, Africa and all the different countries. I didn't know a whole lot about different countries there, but I did know enough to realize, the area, different areas of Africa compared to other areas. And but I didn't really know anything about Tanzania.
Yeah.
So, just a general knowledge.
Yeah. Since you became a father on your side, did you ever imagine one day your daughter will start a family with someone from Africa?
No, I didn't really think about it too much. She was decided to become a Catholic nun out of college when she was going to Steubenville University in Steubenville, Ohio, and she called one day and said that she had decided to join the convent. So we were both a little stunned and upset at first, but we understood it was her choice, so we went with that.
And later then when she's out, that is when, at one point, I was introduced to you.
Right. I remember you coming to our house. She drove with you up to our house, and I had seen pictures of you two before, but I hadn't met you. So when you came to our house, it was like an afternoon or something, so yeah. I told you, my house is your house.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
one of the things you said, which I know for American culture is easy, is for me to call you as Bob. Like, your name is Robert and people's nickname is Bob. Like, in our culture, that is impossible to call your father-in-law, first of all, the first name, or call my mother-in-law Janet. Like, you say,
right.
Oh, call me Bob.
Right.
I'm not going to call you Bob.
Yeah, well, it's just a different cultural thing. And like here, I wouldn't call my father Robert. I would call him Dad, or if it was an uncle, I would call him Uncle Al or Uncle John or whatever, but you wouldn't just say, hi, John, or hi, like my one uncle was, his name was Alvard, but I always called him Uncle Alvard, and then my grandpa, his name was Herbert, and I would call him Grandpa Herb, but it's just different cultures. It's the way that's just, a difference, but everyone does things different, but it accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah. So, I've been married to your daughter for longer, more than 11 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are things you didn't imagine we could be able to do, or you be interested together. Yes, you might be interested, like, for instance, here you watch basketball, you watch American football. Yes, here and there you used to watch soccer, but we used to have a big bond on watching soccer and even go to Real Madrid stadium together. How did that evolve? How do you see that?
Oh, when we went to Coliseum?
Yeah, to watch Real Madrid.
That was the first. I had seen soccer on television, but I had never been to a live soccer match before, and that was very interesting. I had been to the Coliseum years and years before that for the World Motocross Series, in 1973. But that was the last time I was at the Coliseum, I think. But I did have a good time with Ernest at the soccer match at the Coliseum. It was a lot of people, and it was very crowded, but we had a good time. So,
yeah. What other things do you like to do? Because I had the opportunity to live with you at your house, which I appreciated at the time. We were financially very, very bad, and you allowed us not to be homeless, so we appreciate that.
yeah.
What are the things at the time you learned from me living with you at the same house?
I just had to learn your way of doing things compared to our way, and we adapted to each other, I guess you would say. I do things differently than what you do probably, and it takes learning
Exactly.
between two people, from different cultures. But we didn't have any problems.
And now you enjoy even some of the African food.
Yep.
Like kachumbari.
Oh, yes, that's very
salad.
good. So, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a learning thing, just try different things and works out fine.
If the opportunity comes for you to travel to Africa, apart obviously from Tanzania because I'm from there, what other country or what do you want to see in Africa?
In Africa?
Yeah, if you travel.
I would like to see the Mount Kilimanjaro,
Yes.
the Serengeti Plains. I prefer seeing. I really don't want to go to South Africa. I'd rather say up like by Tanzania, Kenya, up through there. It's just a different country compared to like South.
Yeah.
But this is just from what I've read or saw, on television, documentaries and things like that. But there's just to see all the animals in the wild like that compared to what we have here. My sister and her husband, they live on a ranch in the state of Montana. They have 6,500 acres. They raise Black Angus cattle, and on their property, it's in the mountains, there are elk, deer, wolves, coyotes, badgers, bears, grizzly bears, and they all roam, through the mountains and whatever. And so, but I would like to see the animals in Africa on Serengeti, So that would be an experience.
What are the things which you think if someone brand new comes here should know will help someone to succeed?
From another country?
Yes. For instance, when I came here, like you saw how I was struggling to find jobs, it was difficult. What are the things you think that if you learn these kind of things will be able to help you just by experiencing to see me going through the process?
Well, mainly I think it's just you have to learn the differences how we do things compared to, like, say, Tanzania. Different, like the differences in money, food. Food's a big difference.
Yeah.
For you to get used to like our type of food, and the same would be for us to get used to your type of food.
Yes.
It's just how you were brought up. That's just the nature of things. But you just being from another country, you have to be able to adapt to their ways as well as you can. And there's going to be things that you don't agree with and things that we won't agree with. But but you have to come to just understand each other that way.
For Americans or even brand new people coming here, one of the things we talk about is American dream. Like at one point I want to be able to feed my family, to have this, either it's material or whether it's hardworking spirit. while you are growing up, what are the things you really wanted to accomplish and you are proud of up to this moment? The things you accomplished as American.
Okay. When I was growing up, I always wanted to be some type of a job in forestry, like to deal with the like a forest ranger, something in the forestry type jobs, because I loved outdoors. I really liked the outdoors. My father always took me fishing, camping. We were always in the mountains. I'm from Montana, which is a very mountainous state. It's very hard to get used to the flat lands of Kansas. I like to have mountains. And where I live in Simi Valley, California, we're in a valley and we have high mountains all around us, as Ernest knows well. But besides forestry, I took botany and different things like that in junior college. But I always liked mechanical things also. I always liked to take things apart, put them back together as well as I could. When I was Benedict's age, around 10, I started building little cars with wood, and I would take the wheels off my dad's lawnmower, use those on that, and then I would take the little Briggs and Stratton engine, put it on the back, and I would make like a little, we called a go-kart. And I was always interested in motorcycles. I had mini bikes, motorcycles. I was always interested in mechanical things. So I guess that's how I got involved with my lifelong profession of auto mechanics, which I thoroughly enjoyed. My father wanted me to work in the office. He worked for a Western Union Telegraph Company for 45 years. But I didn't want to work inside. I wanted to be outside. I didn't want to be at a desk. I wanted to be out working with my hands. And it didn't bother me to get dirty. I liked mechanical things. And I enjoyed helping people, repair their cars. And I liked my job. So
for the young people recently, they don't appreciate much for people, let's say, in auto mechanic job, plumbing, unless others you have a problem, but basically someone like you had a dream and you enjoy outdoor jobs. But some people, sometimes they're not happy, but they have to be in the office because it's just like the force of nature. Now you have to be in the office. If it doesn't happen, but let's say your child, your grandchild, they come and say, I want to become a plumber. Would you be okay with that?
I would be fine with that. Whatever would make them happy doing. I mean, there are a lot of jobs that people have, they hate their jobs. So I would rather, if they enjoy a profession rather than, something in an office setting or something like that, if they enjoy working with their hands outside of an office type environment and it makes them happy and makes them a good living, that's okay. So it's just, that's the way it is, It's just.
Speaking of the living, let's talk about a little bit the cost of living. We know California is very, very expensive. And yet you have lived in California for most of your life at the moment, since you had your house is a very long time. Why do you like to live in a state which we know is very expensive like California instead of living other cheaper, affordable states?
Well, I think the main thing is the climate. We don't have cold winters. It doesn't get cold. We don't have snow, first of all, where we live. And the coldest it gets probably where we live, maybe during the winter, it might get down to 30 at the very most. And we have had a little bit of snow many years ago, but usually it's in the mountains around us. You know, we can see the snow in the mountains, but not directly. But I think the biggest thing is that people like about California is the climate. It is very expensive, especially for young people nowadays. Both people have to work there in order to survive, and still they're going to have a very, very hard time because everything is so expensive. Rent, just the cost of everything is so high, and it's very hard for young people nowadays to live in that kind of an environment unless they have very, very good jobs. But it's just very expensive for young people. And for me, my wife and I, our house has been paid for 13 years now. So we don't have that, financial burden upon us, for a monthly house payment anymore. So we can enjoy life a little bit better. But it's California. I mean, it's not for everyone.
Yes.
We
had to run away from California.
Yeah, but no, I can understand. Moving like to Kansas, it's definitely a cheaper life here as far as housing and things like that. But if I was if I didn't have my house paid off, it would be very hard because we're on Social Security now. But I think most people that you would talk to my age would say that the reason they're in California now is the climate. And otherwise, I mean, I would love to move to Montana, where my brother and my sister is, but I'm not a cold weather person. So California, that's the only thing that I like is just the weather myself. But I would rather be closer to my families, like here in Kansas and Montana. But we do what we can. We can either fly here or we can drive, which we did this time, and we make the best of it. So, but California does have its good points and bad points. There are a lot of crazy people there. So, but that's just the way of life any place you go.
So now you are retired. What do you enjoy more about being retired?
Not having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I did that for 40 years. And I used to get up at 4 in the morning, and I would be at work at 6, and I wouldn't leave work until 6 or 6:30. And I did that 6 days a week on average for 40 years. So but you get what you work for. If you want something, you have to work for it. There's no easy way. So you have to be willing to work hard, work long hours, and there's no easy way. It's just that's the American dream is you can have what you want if you're willing to work for it.
Exactly.
So it's I never asked anyone for anything. We both worked, and we survived, and now we're enjoying life a little bit more. So, but you have to be willing to work. Nothing comes easy, and I think the younger generation now, they don't want to work like we did to have the things that they want. They have to be willing to make sacrifices and commit to working long hours. It's just I don't know an easier way to do it other than hard work. And that's the way my father taught me.
Yeah, there is a very big problem compared to your generation and our generation. Your generation, you are taught the hard work, determination, and the pride of a person comes from working legal jobs, pay your tax, take your responsibilities. Currently is a little bit different. That's why you see you are able to wake up every single day at 4 a.m., wake up to 6 evening, come back at home for 6 days in a week majority of us cannot be able to do that because, I don't know, it's just like the way soft life it is now. I don't know what is the problem in our generation at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. It just,
but it is not good compared to your generation in terms of the hardworking spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes that's why we find some people, they have to fake life, or they have to start stealing because they want better things which they cannot afford, or the life they want, but they don't want to do hard work for that.
yeah, there's no easy way other than hard work. So,
Yeah, so another question I might ask, so now you are a grandparent. What do you enjoy more being a grandparent?
oh, I enjoy my grandkids tremendously. You know, they're,
They drive
it's
you crazy
just,
sometimes.
yeah, it's the high point of our, you know. So, but we really, really enjoy watching them grow, you know, from little babies on up. And right now they're helping their grandmother make chicken nuggets or whatever you want to call them. They're totally enjoying that. She's enjoying it. So, but yeah, the grandkids and watching them grow, and that's what we enjoy. So,
Yeah. So if I give the chance for you to ask me any questions, what question do you have?
I hope you do well with your job, your YouTube business. I know you're a very hard-working, determined person. You know nothing comes easy. That's for sure. You've had a tough life, you know, getting to where you are now, and I really, really appreciate the hard work you put into it. But I hope you continue to do well, and I know you will, because of the person you are. So you have a determination to and strive to do better, and you see things that you want in the future, and you are going to work for it, and you will accomplish those goals. And we're very proud of that. So,
For me, I want to say thank you so much, first of all, for visiting, spending time with us, and the big support you have been to our family, especially the time of very high need. We needed your support, you and your wife. You were there for us, and even now, for all situations you have been there for us. So we really appreciate, and thank you for sitting down with me for the interview. Yeah, I appreciate it. So thank you, and I believe people will enjoy this interview. They'll learn something from you.
you're very welcome. I'm always here for you, so don't hesitate.
Thank you so much.